Good evening, everyone. Let's get started tonight. So welcome to the 2021-22 Scholar Athlete and Coach of the Year program. I'm Dr. Brett Miller. I've been the president of the Sports Foundation for a few years. I took it by default. Tonight I'm going to hand it over to Dr. Mike Smith as my last year. Last year I had the honor and pleasure of handing my own daughter this award, and we always address the parents, and we definitely should. Athletes, you should look at your parents, thank them often. Grandparents. Before the days of Uber, parents were the original Uber drivers. We cart our kids to every practice and game and get up with you in those early mornings and stay with you late at night. So athletes, never forget to thank your parents. Certainly coaches, you're underpaid and overworked. We appreciate what you do for sure. You mold the lives of these young people, both on the field and off, and the way they develop their character is all a tribute to what you do. So thank you very much. St. Joe is really undergoing a transformation right now as it pertains to sports in our community. There's a lot of exciting things happening if you just look around. I had the pleasure of meeting with Brett Easley, who took over the St. Joe Sports Commission, which I didn't know until last Friday. The Sports Commission is doing big things here. They are helping the Civic Arena renovation to bring national events here. I don't know that I can announce exactly what's about to happen, but there's potentially a very prominent D1 exhibition game coming with women's basketball. Of course, the D2 national championships and regional games, showcase tournaments. So really trying to revitalize and kickstart the sports atmosphere in this town. All five schools this year had a district champion in this town in basketball. So things are going noticed, and we are making strides. If you follow the Griffins, of course, they went from a 6-win season last year to now the Elite Eight. And I'm guilty, I don't go out enough, but those games are always exciting, and we have an opportunity in this city to keep supporting these great athletes. And before I give this over and introduce Dr. Smith, I generally address the parents and coaches and administrators, and I want to thank the front office with Dr. Robert Segrist and Amy Wyrick, and who makes all this possible behind the scenes. But athletes, I think as I exit this position, you're 17, 18 years old, but really take a time and reflect and enjoy this period. Figure out what this is going to do to catapult your career and your life. I want you to look in the program, I hope we have them, but we generally have a roster of previous winners. I don't know that we see them. But if you look down that list of people who have won this award in the past, over the 30 plus years, you're going to see doctors, lawyers, business people, Olympians, NFL, NBA. The list is impressive. So this isn't just some token award that we give. We take it very seriously, and you are among an elite group. So congratulations to you. And I want to introduce Dr. Mike Smith. Dr. Smith is a partner of mine in the Orthopedic and Sports Medicine Center. He's a native of St. Joseph, Missouri. His dad also, I think, is one of the original founders of this group over 30 years ago. So you're in great hands with Dr. Smith, and he'll take the program from here. Thank you all for your time, and thank you for allowing me to be in this role, and good luck tonight, everyone.
Thank you, Dr. Miller. It's really an honor and a privilege to take over as president of the St. Joe Sports group here, and to continue this tradition that's now spanning more than 30 years, where we recognize outstanding local students for their accomplishments, both on and off the field, and of course to recognize coaches for the vital role that they play in those athletes' success and helping them realize those goals. I'd also like to echo Dr. Miller's comments by first thanking some people who made this all possible. That would include Dr. Miller, our outgoing president, for his stewardship over the last few years. It also includes other members of our incorporation who have donated both time and resources to make this possible. It also includes our corporate sponsors, Nottoway Valley Bank and Mosaic Life Care, for their donations to help with the scholarships that are handed out tonight. And again, another thank you to the St. Joe School District, to Dr. Robert Segrist and Amy Wyrick for the behind-the-scenes help. They might not be seen behind the curtain there, but their influence is definitely important on putting this all together. So we have an outstanding group of nominees this year for our awards. We have students, each of whom have applications that are just overflowing with individual awards, team accomplishments. It's really impressive to see what everybody's accomplished. It's clear that you all have mastered this harmony of natural talent and dedication to your sports, to your studies. And that shows through, and it embodies this spirit of the Scholar Athlete Award. It's really, like Dr. Miller said, it's a really elite group that we're looking at here today, and that makes it hard to pick a winner. Each of you who are here representing your school should be proud to have that honor. It's really outstanding that you have made your mark on your school and that you've been recognized by your peers and your teachers and your athletic directors to represent them here. As for the coaches, I bet everyone in this room can remember that favorite coach. It's profound what kind of impact coaches can have on your lives, and that's why it's important to recognize them, just like we recognize our athletes. They succeed by bonding with athletes, by having a common passion for sports, by mentorship, by demonstrating consistency and energy, and this comes in practices and games and outside the sporting arena too. The coaches honored here tonight bring that all in spades. They are exceptional. They've all been recognized by their own athletes and their athletic directors for their outstanding performance. And this is really a top flight class of coaches that we're recognizing. So thank you all for your service and your dedication. So now we're going to start the program here. We are going to begin with the Coach of the Year presentation. And for the format, what we'd like to do is have a representative of each school come up to introduce their nominee for Coach of the Year. Since Mitch Giras is nominated, I didn't know if we were going to have the principal from LeBlond come up to introduce him, or if we have another representative that can do that. Okay. So then we'll have each nominee introduced, and then that can be handed off to the next person, the next athletic director or representative, and we'll get everybody introduced and announce our winner.
Good evening. I'm Kimberly Huss. I'm the principal at Bishop LeBlond High School, the newest principal probably in the room who gets to go first this evening. I would like to introduce our nominee for Coach of the Year, Mitch Giras. Mitch has been a coach at Bishop LeBlond for 6 years. He has coached basketball for 6 years. He was the boys golf coach last year, and he also became our athletic director this year. I think Mitch is one of those people you're going to hear common threads about all the coaches who are probably nominated here tonight, but he's passionate about what he does. He brings this high level of preparation to what he's doing as a coach while seemingly looking completely laid back about all of the preparation that he does. He develops positive relationships with all of our student athletes that he leads and all of the students in our school. One of the things that I admire about Mitch is that he seeks out opportunities for his student athletes to learn and grow. They run a basketball league in the summer. They seek out places to go and watch high-level high school basketball teams play so that they have an experience what that is like. Mitch has accomplished a lot as a coach, and we're nominating him this year because his boys golf team in the spring of 2021 won the state championship by an impressive 54 strokes. Mitch's accomplishments are really visible for those of you that pay attention to social media and recent news media. We just returned from the Final Four with the basketball team, where Mitch led our team after probably starting 6 years ago with not a winning record, bringing a group of boys through the program and finishing kind of at the pinnacle, playing in the Final Four. Every single day, he demonstrates a drive to succeed. He makes a lasting impact on those in the building and those around him. He's a willing helper for anything that goes on, and he's an excellent representative of Bishop LeBlond High School. Mitch Garris. Yeah, that's probably good. Am I done? Nikki Carlson, you're next.
Good evening. My name is Nikki Carlson. I'm the athletic director for St. Joseph Christian School. And I just wanted to say thank you to St. Joseph Sports, Inc. for hosting this tonight, for providing scholarships for these kids, and just making it a place where, you know, higher level ability and talent is recognized, and along with academics, because we all know they go hand in hand. It's my pleasure to introduce our nomination tonight, Coach Aaron Patrick. Coach Patrick has been coaching volleyball for over 22 years and basketball for 23 years. He's been at St. Joseph Christian School since 2017, so this is his 6th year coaching. Since he's been at our school, he's coached the girls basketball team and volleyball team. Aaron's always positive, energetic, and willing to take on a challenge. That was evident in 2018 when last minute our high school boys coach left unexpectedly. And so he took on coaching both the girls and the boys high school basketball team for a season. And he did that well with integrity, enthusiasm. And what I love about Aaron also is he brings not only just a higher level to the coaching of the girls teams he also brings a sense of humor. And he makes it fun for the girls. He motivates them to perform at their highest level. And really, even after our athletes leave the school, as with any coach, his investment is for a lifetime, and he challenges them to be the best they can in everything they do. And I've seen him be connected with those students after they've left, because he really cares that they would go on to be just a great member of our community and to strive for excellence in all they do. You can see in the program already, but just to highlight, Coach Patrick is a very humble man, and he's not able to be here tonight, but if he was, he would probably be a little embarrassed, but I'm just going to say quickly, in his lifetime, he has coached 11 All-State volleyball players, 12 All-State basketball players. He's won 2 Class I volleyball state championships, 2 Class I state basketball championships, 2 Class I basketball runner-up All-State teams, won 5 volleyball Coach of the Year distinctions at the state level, won 5 basketball Coach of the Year distinctions at the state level. Aaron's overall record for volleyball is 499 wins, 192 losses, so that brings him to a 72.1% winning record, which really is phenomenal. But not only has Aaron coached various athletes with different all-district, all-conference, and all-state recognition at our school in the last 6 years, he's also led us to a 2020 District 15 title championship win in volleyball, and then most recently the 2022 District 15 Girls Championship Class 1 this year for us. Aaron is just a great man of high integrity and morality. You would never know he has such a great record of achievement by talking with him, with his behavior and attitude. He's a man who consistently puts others first, whether that's visiting teams, even looking at schedules with them sometimes. He's always willing to bend to help the other school, which is great for me as an athletic director. But he's also there for athletes, parents, and officials, just quick to serve. He's a godly man who serves others as Christ does. So, ladies and gentlemen, I present to you our nomination, Coach Aaron Patrick. Okay. And Dave Lau from Central High School, you're up next.
Good evening. I want to first of all start by thanking the St. Joe Sports Inc. for putting this event on. It's something that over the years has given us the opportunity to showcase the talent that we have in the St. Joe School District. And I know that just, you look at the winter sports and what this community has done in basketball and wrestling, and it's amazing the things that we do. So I just want to congratulate all those student athletes that have been nominated tonight and the coaches that have been nominated tonight. Kendra Hodgen is our head softball coach. She has been nominated by her peers. Our coaches have voted her as the Central Coach of the Year, and well deserving in that. She is a physical education teacher over at Truman High School, and 4 years ago, Central lost a quality baseball or softball coach to go coach baseball up at Lafayette, and Matt Jansen. And Matt had set a standard in our softball program and had led the team to the most wins in school history. And so we knew we had to find somebody that was going to be able to step in and fill those shoes, and it was going to be difficult. And that's where we found Kendra. And she came from LeBlanc, where she was coaching for 1 year before she came over to us. And in those 4 years, she's compiled a 59-45 record. And she has was finished runner-up in an extremely competitive district. This last year was a super district for softball, and we ended up getting into the finals and lost to a really good Liberty North team. But so the thing that really impresses me about Kendra is how she molded this team together over the last few years. And the coaching staffs that she has, she's had to bring them in. They've been new. She's gotten those kids to buy into a family atmosphere. They have fun when they're on the field. They express that openly in different interviews that they were able to have during the course of the year on KQ2 and with the news press. And so when you see kids having fun and excitement and also winning, that is a really good culture that we're trying to teach over there, and Kendra has done a great job with that. She's had 6 athletes signed to play softball in college over her 4 years. She's got 1 D1 player, she's got 3 D2 players, and she's got 2 MIAA players. Those players have received numerous all-state, all-region, all-conference, all-district, all-city, and all-news press team honors, as well as academic all-state. And that's one of the things that a lot of our coaches have really been focused on, is not just what our players do on the field, but what they do in the classroom. And I think, Kendra, I don't know the exact number, but I think there were like 6 girls that were academic All-Americans or All-State players. And that's really impressive, and that goes to, your leadership and what you do not only on the field, but off the field. Her team broke a school record for most wins in a season this last year, going 26-8. So we have that on an upswing. We've got a lot of those players coming back, and we're really looking forward to what Coach Hodgen will do with them. And so I'm pleased to welcome Kendra Hodgen, the Central Coach of the Year nominee. I'd like to ask Mark Grell to come up, taking the place of AD Brett Goodwin for Benton.
Well, good evening. It really is an honor tonight to speak. We apologize that Brett Goodwin couldn't be here. He had some other obligations that came up. But looking around the room tonight, myself as a coach and a parent, there's so many individuals in this room, from students that walk the halls at Benton, coaches and staff at Benton. I also have other coaches that are dear to my heart in this room because of family that might play for them. I have other student athletes in here that are close to our heart, have individuals that go to our church that are in here. So we really appreciate all the effort and the sacrifices that you guys make each year for our students and the sacrifices the students make for our schools. It's my honor to announce the Benton High School Coach of the Year, Coach Chris Michaels. Over the past several years, Chris has contributed to teaching, mentoring, and coaching our youth in sports for boys and girls in and around our community. He brings a level of intensity. If you've ever seen Chris on the sidelines, you won't find somebody more intense than him. He brings passion to the game and to our athletes, not only to his team, but to the Southside community. Chris's ability to push his student athletes both physically and mentally while demanding a strong work ethic demonstrates his loyalty and dedication to the improvement of every student athlete and coach in his program. Chris emulates these qualities in preparing his teams for regular conference and postseason play. Chris's past experience includes assistant football coach at Benton High School for 11 years, head girls basketball coach at Spring Garden, head basketball coach at North Andrew High School, where he would guide his team to a district championship in 2018-19 season. 2020, Chris accepted the head coaching position at Benton High School. In his first year, he guided the Lady Cardinals to a 15-11 record, a district championship, and a spot in the Final Four in Springfield, Missouri, including a spot in the Final Four this year that we're going to go down on. Well, they're leaving Thursday, and then we're all going to go down and support them on Friday. During the Final Four run, the Lady Cardinals defeated the number 1 ranked Maryville Spoofhounds in an overtime victory versus El Dorado in the quarterfinals to earn a trip last year to the Final Four. Coach Michaels was named All-City, All-District Coach of the Year, as well as the KKWK Coach of the Year. It is my pleasure to introduce Coach Michaels as a nominee for Coach of the Year. Next up, Corey Gilpin, Lafayette High School.
Good evening. 2 years to almost the exact day, the sports world came to an end. For nearly 30 years of my life, from playing in sports to managing sports, it all came to a screeching halt. Uncertainty loomed. 2 weeks to flatten the curve, the experts said. As I sat in my home, frantically wondering what the next steps would be, knowing the outlook was bleak, we received the news that the 2020 high school spring sports season would be shut down. Thank you, Dr. Segrist. As a leader, while trying to navigate my own emotions, I had to compose myself and talk with our coaching staffs. Kids are resilient, and my coaching staffs adapt to daily change, but there was one person I felt awful for and didn't want to pick up the phone to talk to. I felt awful for this coach because he could not wait to lead the Fighting Irish on the baseball field in his first head baseball coaching job. Not only lead them as baseball players, but as men. Watching him work with our student athletes on throwing mechanics, swing playing, arm strength, and the whole student athlete was nothing short of amazing. When student athletes like Braden Lucart, who is now playing for Oklahoma University in the Big 12, were sitting beside him not wanting to say a word, but completely engaged with the words of this coach. I knew we made the right choice at Lafayette High School. Fast forward to a little over a year ago, 2 outs in the top of the 7th, with Braden Lucard on the mound trying to beat the pitch count against a team that most figured would walk through the state championship. Unfortunately, it did not end in Lafayette's favor. As I walked to find our head coach after the game and console him, we didn't talk. We hugged and we cried. My simple words to him as we left, tomorrow is a character game. The next day, our Lafayette Fighting Irish were able to hold the 3rd place trophy with a 12-2 victory in that game, a first for Lafayette. Watching them hold that trophy, it took me back to the memories of the last 2 years since the season was shut down in 2020. Kids and coaches were held accountable. Kids and coaches were pushed more than they ever had been before. Kids and coaches struggled. Kids and coaches fought their own battles. But in the end, kids and coaches held that Class 4 3rd place trophy above their heads with joy, with our head coach leading the way. Ladies and gentlemen, your 2021 Lafayette Coach of the Year, Coach Matt Jansen.
Okay. Thank you all, athletic directors and principals who did those introductions. It's so great, so encouraging to hear what all these coaches are up to, what the schools are up to, and how everybody's excelling out there. Just like in the last talk, despite the circumstances. It's amazing to hear these stories. So, without further ado, the St. Joseph Sports Incorporated Coach of the Year is Mitch Giras.
I'd like to start by saying thanks to the St. Joseph Sports Inc. and St. Joseph School District for putting this stuff on. This is great for our student athletes. Probably like every other coach here, you know, we're blessed with to be able to work with such great kids, and really that's what it's all about. I mean, obviously we'll remember all the wins and losses, but what we remember most is all the bus rides, the hotel stays, the team camps, those things right there that last a lifetime. Obviously my golf team last year was really good, and Mr. Carell likes to tease me all the time and tell me that I was the bus driver, and he's not lying. I mean, I was very fortunate to take over a group of kids that have been playing golf since they were 3 and 4 years old, and I was just blessed to be a part of it. I'd like to thank Coach Huss for allowing me to coach the way I know how, and just be a part of the LeBlanc community. And it's been a special 6 years, both with basketball and my 1 year with golf, and made a bunch of memories and hopefully had a positive impact on all our student athletes, and can't ask for a better place to work. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Congratulations to Coach Mitch Giras. So we will move on with the program to go through the Scholar Athlete presentations of our nominees. And to do that, we will again have the athletic directors come up. Dave Lau is slated to come up first to do the introduction. We also have some video presentations that were made by the school district, so we can properly introduce these exceptional students, and we'll get on to the awards. So.
Well, somehow I got moved up and bumped into the first spot. So it's a pleasure to introduce our 2 student athletes who we have put up for the Athlete of the Year on the male and female side. So what I'm going to do is have them both come up. If Ella Moody and Adam Hansen would both come up and join me. And I'm going to go ahead and I'll start. gonna throw their names out, throw the video up. Okay, I'm gonna do this real quick, so we're gonna go through these. But Ella Moody is a two-sport athlete at Central High School. She played volleyball and basketball both 4 years. In volleyball, she's an all-city and academic all-state player. In basketball, she's an all-city 3 times. She's been News Press Player of the Year 2 times. She's been first team all conference 2 times. She's been first team all district 2 times. She's been first team all state once, and hopefully again as it gets going here towards the end of the season. She is also an academic all state team in basketball. Recently, she broke a school record for career points on February 26th, surpassing Monique Lucas, a record that stood for 37 years and was set in 1985. When she scored her 1,421st point. And she extended that record for the season at 1,465. So the student athlete nominee for St. Joe Central High School is Ella Moody. Our male nominee is Adam Hansen. Adam is a 3-sport athlete. He's also has participated on Scholar Bowl for a year. Adam is a National Merit finalist. He is also a drug-free superstar at Central High School. He was a 2-time News Press Swimmer of the Year. Last year he set the school record in the 100 butterfly, and about a week to 10 days later he broke his own record. So he currently owns 4 records at Central: the 100 butterfly, the 200 freestyle relay, and the 200 medley relay, the 400 freestyle relay. He participated and earned All-State in all 4 events this year at the state swim meet. So we have 2 record holders here that probably going to last for quite a while. So male student athlete nominee, Adam Hansen. To the videos.
My favorite book would be Wander. It's about a little boy, Augie, who has to go to school. He has to face deformity, and he has to go face the realities of being accepted by people like in his class. And I think it's really important because people aren't accepted, and you have to go to school and you have to be strong no matter what. You have to face people who aren't going to like you. So I think it's really important, and I love that book because it represents like how diverse the whole world is, and I think it's really important. I love that book. My greatest role model is my mom. She leads by example. She wants me to be the kindest person I can be. She wants me to be the most best in the classroom that I can be. She wants me to be the best athlete I can be. She pushes me to be the best that I can be. She never wants me to settle for anything that I'm not. She knows that I can do better. She always pushes me, and she leads by example. She makes good decisions, so she expects me to make good decisions. She wants me to be kind to people, and she's nothing but kind to people, and I think that is really respectable, and I want to be just like her. So I've had a great experience in high school. I don't have anything to complain about, but I think the greatest thing that I experienced was my sophomore year of high school. Over winter break, my basketball team took a trip to Florida for about a week. We went to Universal Studios, we played in a tournament, and we just got to hang out as a team and team bond. It was really fun, so yeah. My favorite subject is science as a whole. In high school, I've had really great science teachers that have really made me love the subject. Especially human anatomy, I'm really interested in that, especially going pre-vet maybe. I love that class. I love the concept of that. So I think science is definitely my favorite, just because the teachers, it made me love it. They made it really interesting for me, so I think that's my favorite. I think the funniest thing that happened to me would be on the trip when we went to Florida. We were at Universal Studios. We were getting on a roller coaster, and our coach at the time, he's really tall. He couldn't fit, so we all got fast passes, and we all had to heckle him, and it was really fun. So that was probably the funniest thing that's happened.
I think Raising Arizona is my favorite movie. I again, we watched that in class the other day. I'm in this tag program that I really enjoy. But it's a funny movie, and it has really good cinematography, and I really enjoyed watching that. It's a good movie. The greatest role model has been my dad, definitely. He's kind of set the precedent, but then also supported me throughout my childhood, my high school career, to just motivate me, push me to be the best person I can be, in the classroom, in the pool, and even at home in my community. I appreciate all he's done, and he's been a great role model for me, so definitely my dad. Our team, the swim team, we're a really close-knit group of guys. We swim year-round. That's how the sport works, similar to cross country. You have to stay in shape. And so, yeah, we have these really close bonds. We hang out with each other even outside of the pool as well, because that's just how the team is. And this year, we had the 4 main swimmers were all seniors, me and 3 of my best friends. We were able to just swim well all year round. We qualified for state, and then at the state meet, it was great, so much energy, and we swam against the best teams, and we got 3rd at state. And so that was an amazing moment, and we broke the school record while we were at it. So we have this kind of summer jamboree, we call it, and we have all these fun events. So we'll do, like backwards swimming, or who can hold their breath the longest, or, diving board contests. And one year, it was really funny. My friend Chase Meyer, great guy, we were doing like a diving board contest. Who could do the coolest trick? And then that would determine Savannah or Central who won. And he decided to do a butt bounce. And I don't know, jammers is what swimmers wear, like the really thin pants, right? Like kind of like compression underwear. Well, he did a butt bounce and they ripped. And the whole back of his pants fell out and he didn't know it. So he was running around celebrating our victory because he did a butt bounce, but he had a hole in his shorts. That was definitely so funny because he didn't know it, and then I told him and everyone was laughing at him, and I felt terrible, but it was so funny. So yeah, definitely we framed him, the big hole in his pants. So that's, that's definitely it.
Okay, next up, we will have Mitch Garris introduce the LeBlond nominees, Emily Welter and Chris Golden.
All right, we'll start out with Emily Welter. Emily Welter has a 4.5 GPA on a 4.0 grading scale. She was a member of the High Honor Roll every semester of her high school career. She's also an active member in the National Honor Society. Emily supported the Bishop LeBlond community as a member of a student athlete leadership program her freshman and sophomore years. She was a part of campus ministry, as well as a student council secretary her senior year. Emily played volleyball, soccer, and basketball at Bishop LeBlond. She is, junior volleyball. Okay. As a junior volleyball player, she was awarded the Midland Empire Conference Award, All-City Honors. She was also part of the 2021 Class II Volleyball State Runner-Up, where she earned All-State, Academic All-State, All-District First Team, and All-MEC Honorable Mention. Additionally, as a soccer player, she was named to the All-District team as a junior and a senior. Emily Welter. Our next nominee is Chris Golden. Chris has earned a 4.2 grade point average on a 4.0 grading scale. He's an active member of the National Honor Society his junior and senior year. He's earned high honor honors every semester at Bishop LeBlond High School. He played basketball for all 4 years. He's been all-city as a freshman, sophomore, junior, and I anticipate his senior year. He was named the All-Conference Honorable Mention as a freshman, All-Conference First Team as a sophomore and junior, and First Team his senior year. In addition to the district conference and accommodations, he was named to the Missouri Sports Writer and Sportscasters Association All Northwest Class II Boys Team. He was a first-team All-District player this year. In 2021, KKWK KMRN All-Star Team. I anticipate that again this year. This last season, Chris reached his 1,000th point milestone midway through the season. He also reached the 500 rebound club in the quarterfinal game. He played baseball every year at high school. He's been named All-City, All-District twice, once as a pitcher his freshman year and infielder his junior year. And additionally, during his junior year, he was an All-MEC second-team infielder. He was also named to the Class II All-State team. Chris has supported his community through acts of service through Cathedral Parish, YWCA, and various youth programs, and some forced community service from his basketball coach through summer basketball leagues. Chris Golden.
I like to read a lot, so I probably have a few favorite books. I like to read a lot, like in the true crime genre and everything. One of my favorite books is called Safe Haven. It's not really a true crime, but it's by Nicholas Sparks, so it's like a romantic book and everything. I like books that have like plot twists and stuff and like things that you don't know what are coming. So that's probably one of my favorites because it has like kind of romance and some like plot twists and stuff. So I was really excited because I think I'm really involved at my school in both athletics and academics. So it just felt good to be like nominated or known as like one of those people. So I don't know, I was just really excited. It's really like valued in society and stuff. So, and like especially at school. So it just felt good to be like known as one of those people. So my greatest memory was this year because we went to state for volleyball and we ended up placing second, and I don't think a team in St. Joe had gone that far, like made it to the championship game, so that was really fun, and especially because it was my senior year and I'd never gone to a state like game before, so it was just really fun to have everybody there, and I don't know, it was just a really good experience overall. I feel like I have a lot of role models in my life. One of my biggest is probably either my mom or my sister, and I think my sister's was a pretty big role model like during high school because I was a freshman when she was a senior, and so I like kind of had her there with me, and she's also like played volleyball and soccer like I do, and she's excels in like academics, so she was taking like dual credit classes like I would, so it was just nice to have her there to kind of like guide me and just tell me like how things would work because we were kind of doing the same thing. So. I know for one of the volleyball practices, after we played like the sectionals game and won, which we didn't know if we were going to win that game or not, so whenever we finally did, it was really exciting. And whenever we had practice that following week, it was close to Halloween, so we all like surprised the coaches and dressed up, and we all had like different ears and stuff, and they weren't really expecting it, so I think that was pretty fun.
My favorite book is probably The Awakening by Kate Chopin, because the plot is kind of women trying to escape societal norms back in the 1900s, and it's just very interesting. My favorite movie is Cars, because I just like Lightning McQueen. I had bed sheets of Lightning McQueen. I had a birthday party when I was little themed to that, so it's just always been my favorite. I was kind of honored just knowing that my coaches and my teachers have noticed my hard work in the classroom and in my sports. In my spare time, I enjoy hanging out with my friends and my family and playing video games. Sport games mostly, like 2K, Madden, MLB. My greatest role model is probably my dad because he's always teaching us that we have to work for what we want and nothing comes easy in life. My greatest memory in high school was scoring my 1,000th career point in basketball this year. It made me feel really great because they called a timeout after I hit it and everyone was cheering me on, so it just felt kind of special. The advice I give to freshmen is just be yourself and don't try to be someone you're not, because you'll always find friends just being yourself, and people will notice if you're trying to impress them and stuff, so just be yourself. I balance my athletics and my academics by making sure I get all my schoolwork done in my free time and as soon as I can, make sure it's not late. My favorite subject is math. I've just been good at it, so it comes easy. Something funny that happened was after we won the district championship game in baseball last year, my junior year, I scored the winning run, and it was a walk-off. And as I was going to celebrate with my teammates, I was stumbling and I tripped and just wiped out.
Did everybody laugh?
Mm-hmm.
Did you?
Yeah.
Okay, next up for Benton High School, we will have Mark Carell introduce Callie Horn and Tayton Piper Gerdes.
All right, we're going to start with Callie first. Wrong one. Callie has participated in tennis, soccer, track, dance, all at Benton, as well as synchronized ice skating. Callie finished second in districts and sectionals for doubles, and second in districts and sectionals for singles in tennis. She was selected to the first team, News Press, now all-city team in tennis. Academically, she's maintained a GPA of 4.0, holds a class rank of 1. Not many can achieve that accomplishment. Callie is our student body president, member of the National Honor Society, including president. She's involved in Power U Fellowship. She's a drug-free superstar. She participated in Missouri Girls State, the A+ program, Spanish Club, Wellspring Youth Club. She has volunteered with United Way, Living Community Nursing Home, Summer School Tutor, Second Harvest, and the South Side Cleanup. Callie Horn. Tayton, he has participated in football, basketball, and soccer. If you don't know, soccer and football are the same seasons. That's tough. It's an accomplishment. This past season, Tayton was first team all-city, second team all-conference, all-district in soccer as a defender. He also earned academic all-state for football this year. Academically, he has maintained a 3.96, so even though they're standing next to each other, Tayton is number 2, so don't be duking it out over there. He's also a member of the National Honor Society, just finished 5th place at DECA, correct? And has qualified for nationals in Atlanta. Nothing better than a free trip on the district. He is involved in the A+ program, sports marketing and broadcaster. He is our lead broadcaster, involved in Young Life. He is also a drug-free superstar and has multiple jobs over the summer. Tayton Piepergerters.
So my favorite book is Socrates Express by Eric Weiner. At first, when I originally started reading it, I didn't think I was going to like it because it's about philosophy. But the more I read it, the more interested I was in it because it's really cool how the book's laid out. So each chapter is about a different philosopher and the way they see life. And so it's just really good takeaway things and makes you reflect on your life. I was super excited. This is a huge honor to be recognized for both your academics and your athletics. That's not something that you really get recognized for together. So I was really appreciative that my school really appreciates the work I put in because I feel like I put in a lot of work to get where I am. My greatest role model has been my mom. Her work ethic is something that I really admire. She goes and works a strenuous job. I know it's really hard on her. She works long, hard hours. And then she comes home to like her primary job, which is a mom, and she never fails at that. She's always there to support my brother and I and doing whatever she can to help us succeed and reach our goals. She's also very selfless and kind, always putting others before herself and making sure everyone else is okay before herself. And so I just admire her for that and hope to be like her one day. A lot of people take this as a negative, but honestly for me, it was quarantine. A lot of good things came out of that. Like I learned self-discipline. Like I just wanted to lay in bed all day, not do my schoolwork because it was just a dark time, but I had to find the motivation within to get up and do my schoolwork. Also, I feel like quarantine helped me value the relationships like I do now because we didn't have the face-to-face contact. We were so isolated. And so before quarantine, I feel like I was just attached to my phone. Like if I was talking with a group of people, I had my phone. It was always with me. But now when I see people, I really value the connection that we get to talk to each other and just see each other. So the funniest thing that I think that's happened to me is my freshman year, I was playing tennis with my doubles partner. It was the MEC tournament, which is this all conference. And so we're about to win. It was the first place championship. Everyone was watching. And so my doubles partner is serving. She's like, I'm gonna serve it really hard. I'm just gonna go for it. I was like, okay, you do that. So I go up to the net and I'm getting ready to volley because I knew if the person would return the serve, it'd go straight to me at the net. So I'm sitting there ready and she throws up that ball and hits it. And it would have been a great serve. It would have gone in, we would have won, except it hit me in the back of the head, right smack dab in the middle. And everyone in the audience was like, oh, and I just stood there. I didn't know what to do. So I just started laughing. We laughed it off. We went to the next point and ended up winning. So it turned out okay, but yeah.
Well, I would think my favorite book is The Richest Man in Babylon. It's one of the first books I started reading about financial literacy, and that's where I want to go with my life. That's the career I want to go into, and it really showed me how easy it is to get started in that. When I was selected as a scholar athlete, I was pretty surprised. I didn't know about it. I hadn't heard anything about it, and so when I was told and brought into the Goodwin's office, it was kind of, oh, awesome. And I think it's going to be an awesome opportunity. But yeah, thank you. I think my greatest role model has to be my mom. She pushes me all the time to do great in school and in sports. She was an athlete herself, and she takes education above everything else. She's got 2 masters, so she wants me to go far, and she knows I can do far. My greatest memory has to be last year. We made history in soccer, being the first team to ever go to the district championship ever. And so that was really big. We also had the most wins in a season, and it felt great doing that. Being with those guys, it felt really awesome. I balance athletics and academics. It's a struggle, it's definitely hard, but I just have to set out blocks and times. I have to focus on, hey, this is soccer time, I'm gonna focus on soccer. I'm not gonna worry about school, I'm gonna just do soccer. And then vice versa for when it's school time, I have to say, hey, soccer's not right now, it's later, you gotta focus on school right now. My favorite subject has been business. I love all the high school business classes that we've had. I like them because that's where I want to go, of course, and I think it was hands-on, it was different. It got me into it, got me wanting to do business and finance, so. Something funny is I scored with my hands in soccer, and you're not supposed to use your hands to score, so it was pretty funny watching all the reactions because everyone knew it but the refs that I hit it with my hands. And then, yeah, so scoring with my hands.
Okay, now from Lafayette High School, we'll invite Corey Gilpin up here to introduce Ellie Wattenberger and Quentin Garrett.
Our 2 Scholar Athlete nominees are Quentin Garrett and Ellie Wattenberger. When we start doing this list, it comes from about 10 people, and then we narrow it down to 1. This year it got real easy because these 2 kids embody exactly what we need at Lafayette High School. Aside from their sport, if there's anything other than pride of Lafayette High School in these 2 kids, I'd like to see it because they are the conductor of our pride train. We also ask that our kids do so many things, and these 2 would have a list, that 200 characters that Amy Wyrick told me I could only stay under to type under would not encompass what these 2 kids do for Lafayette High School. as they just got back from DECA for a three-day state competition where they've been down there for 3 days. Congratulations, Tayton, on going to the national competition as well. So Lafayette's scholar athletes, Quentin Garrett and Ellie Wattenbarger.
Well, I've always been one for nostalgia, so my favorite book is and always will be Harry Potter. It's something that I read when I was young, and so it will always stick with me. And I'm a huge fan of world building and getting to grow up with the characters, which is what I did as I read the books. I was exhilarated. There were a lot of people from my school who obviously applied for the scholarship, and I didn't want to go into it with any expectations, but once I found out that I was, our athletic director came into one of my classes and was gave this big speech, and I was like, is it going to be me? Because it could have been someone else, and then he said my name, and I was like, oh my gosh. I felt so honored, and it was like a privilege. I think every year is kind of blurred together for me because everything has been so wonderful, but I've loved being a part of all of my sports, and I'm in student council, I'm student body president, and that has been a great experience for me. But I think my favorite thing about high school has been the relationships that I've built with my teammates, because they're my closest friends and hopefully will be forever. History. I love history, and I will say the history department at Lafayette is probably our best department in the school. My favorite teacher that I've ever had was my freshman and junior year history teacher, and he kind of just turned me into a history buff. I love learning about the past, because I think the past is what influences our future. This happened this year. I'm a catcher, I play softball, and this is something pretty routine that I probably do 3-4 times a game, but we're catching, girl on first, she goes to steal second, I pop up, I go to throw the ball, and I threw my glove. My glove ended up in the pitching circle, and literally the crowd was laughing at me, my team was laughing at me. I have no clue. I have no clue how it happened. I went to throw the ball, somehow lost my glove. I can't explain it, so I still don't know how it happened.
My favorite movie has to be Friday Night Lights. Kind of cliche, but it has to be. I mean, I've always loved football, and I think I can remember back in 3rd, 4th, 5th grade, before Pee Wee practices, I sit there and turn it on and watch it and get excited and be like, man, someday I'm gonna play under the Friday Night Lights. I'm gonna have a group of people supporting me, and I've been lucky enough to do that. And throughout high school, I think it became even more important to me, being able to watch it and relate to it in a sense. I felt pretty good. I felt honored. To know that I've been recognized for my school abilities and my athletic abilities, just to know that someone's noticed me and said, oh, here's a little pat on the back for you. It just made me feel good. Made my parents happy, which makes me happy. It's all about having my mom happy, my dad happy. So, for me, the greatest role model in my life has to be my mom and dad. I know it's hard to just say one, especially how great they are. I mean, they've done so much for me. I am who I am because of them. They've given me a name, they've given me a home, fed me, been there for practices, early or late. I just truly can't say thank you enough to them. My favorite school subject has to be history. I've always loved it. I've been infatuated with it since I was young. I can learn so much from it, to see how history repeats itself. That's what everyone says. I think it genuinely does. So to learn and see how far the world has come, to think of the struggles people went through, to learn their stories. I want to know their names, understand that I am who I am because of the actions they took and what they did and what they fought through and fought and scratched for. And I'm just so thankful for them that I want to continue learning, and I want to know everything that they went through, whether it be here in America or around the world. I think that's why history is just so, I'm just compelled to it. I think my greatest memory has to have come from this senior year. It came over the summer, right before football started, for football pictures. I did my senior picture with a stack of pancakes, and I kind of became like an infamous guy for it, the Pancake Man. And it has a reference in football, but a lot of people outside of football didn't know that. So people would come up to me, oh, you're the pancake guy, the guy with the flapjacks. You know what I'm saying? I'm a big old guy, so to have a thing of pancakes with me, you might just think I'm a fan of them, and I am. But I think that people just saw that and laughed, and I think for me, it's funny because I did it for a serious meaning, but it had like a kind-heartedness to it, and I'm glad that it happened. I enjoyed it.
And now from the St. Joe Christian School, we'll have Nikki Carlson introduce Diana Yee and Caleb Carlson.
Well, good evening. I'm Danny Maggard. I'm the superintendent or co-superintendent and secondary principal at St. Joe Christian. I'm filling in for Nikki Carlson so she can be a parent here for a moment while one of her children are up here. I also want to thank St. Joe Sports Incorporated for this event that they do every year and their support of all the schools here in town and of all the athletes. Congratulations to all of you coaches and athletes for this great honor. And also I want to give a shout out to our basketball teams at each school. It was just an awesome year to have every school in St. Joe, as was mentioned earlier, win a district title and also Missouri Western last night. So just an amazing time. I also want to give a shout out to our local media for the great job that they do in supporting our schools and highlighting our kids. So like was mentioned earlier, I could stay up here all night and talk about these two that are next to me. I'm going to first of all talk about Diana Yee. Diana came from China about 4 years ago, could barely speak any English, could hardly look you in the eye in the hallway. And this young lady has been an inspiration to so many in her 4 years at St. Joseph Christian School, not only learning the English language, but carrying a 4.0 grade point average in doing that is is just unbelievable. Some other things that Diana's accomplished besides just academics, she was the second student in St. Joe Christian history to make All-State Choir this past year, which is amazing as well. She's a drug-free superstar, National Honor Society member. Also, Diana participated in high school in basketball and also in volleyball, not only playing on teams, but also serving as a manager. And when you think about someone as a servant heart, I think of Diana Yee. So Diana, I really appreciate all that you've done for our school and the inspiration that you've been to so many. Our male candidate is Caleb Carlson. Caleb is another tremendous leader in our school. Academically, again, over 4.0 grade point average, just as excellent in all of his subjects. Caleb also serves as since 7th grade, the drummer on our worship band team. And you might be like, wow, well, that's coming into school early, 2 or 3 days a week to prepare for chapel, and then being a 3-sport athlete, staying after school for football, basketball, and baseball. And Caleb has excelled in every sport that he's played. And the football team, being the starting quarterback, and when you start with 4 freshmen, you don't always have the best blocking. And so Caleb was one that never complained. He always just gave his best and has been just a great example to the rest of the team. And then you turn around playing quarterback, then you're the middle linebacker. So Caleb was involved in every single play on the football field and, again, never complained. Just a hard worker there. Basketball-wise, just been so fun to watch. Just a great offensive, great defensive player over the years. And then baseball. I believe last year he batted close to 500. We're expecting a lot bigger things than that this year out of him, so no pressure. But anyway, just a great kid, a great athlete, and a great Christian young man. And so it's my privilege to introduce to you Diana Yee and Caleb Carlson, the St. Joe Christian Scholar Athletes.
My favorite book is titled The Three Little Words. It's written by Ashley Rhodes. This book is about Ashley, the author, her own experience in the foster care system. This book kind of opened my eyes to what's some deep-rooted problems about the system. So yeah, this thing kind of interested me, so I might look into that part of the field in the future. Well, I just like to learn new stuff, little fun facts from each different subject. I sometimes watch videos talking about psychology, some educational problem, current events. And I do with music theory or some fun mathematical problem, physics, and so on. And I improve my skills in other stuff. I'm in choir, so I take voice lessons for solos, and the contest is coming up. Every day in SJCS is different, but then I guess the best memories just being in a school with all the students that I just love the school's environment. And it's the opportunity the school gave me to try out the all-state choir, and I made it. Like, that is like awesome. When I was playing basketball during practice, so I get hot very easy, and I sweat a lot, and that usually starts like above my hairline. So there's one time we were like doing double hand dribbling, like back and forth on the court, and I can't wipe my sweat off, so the whole thing just covered my face, and my coach came by me, thought I was crying somehow. I'm like, sorry coach, I just can't wipe my face. Like the whole thing is like the sweat got in my eyes. I'm like, I can't see, I'm sorry. So yeah.
My favorite book would probably be Pride and Prejudice, just because it shows like the old way that society functioned, and just how it highlighted like the core values of society and how we can learn from it today is pretty immaculate. So I felt whenever I was selected that it was just like a very big opportunity for me. It was really exciting because I honestly I wasn't sure if I was going to get it or not, but yeah, I was just thrilled to receive it, so yeah. My greatest role model I would have to say would be my father, just because he sets a really good example of what I think a man looks like, and how he teaches his family and how he raised me, so I have a lot of respect for my dad. My greatest memory in high school would probably be my study hall freshman year, because there was like 35, 40 kids, which is like a really big class for my school. And we had our science teacher, who's like my favorite teacher ever, and he just kind of lets us do whatever. So like if it would snow, we could go outside and go sledding. And in the spring, whenever it would rain a ton, we could go out and find like crawfish and like stick our hands way down in the hole and then pull them out once they bite your finger. So yeah, that was a pretty good memory. My favorite subject in school would be calculus, because it's just a completely different way of like thinking about math. It's like a different language, and it's really fun just to figure it out, because our teacher kind of like makes us figure it out on our own, and so it's really helpful that way, because I can teach myself how to learn it. So. Something funny that happened during high school sports would probably be this year in football. I got to play with my little brother. He was an incoming freshman, and so I was the quarterback and he was the running back. So we had a lot of play pass option plays where I could either pass the ball to him or keep running. So if someone was coming at me, I could flip the ball to him and then watch him just get killed by like some senior. So that was kind of funny sometimes, even though I felt bad, but yeah.
So I think this group deserves collectively another round of applause. I think this is an exceptional group this year. Like I said at the start, tremendous individual accomplishments, team accomplishments. We've heard it from all the athletic directors, principals, other representatives here, that these are really standout students, standout athletes. It's time to get on with the presentation of the awards. The winners will receive their name on a plaque, on a traveling plaque that can go back to their school for the next year, along with $1,000. The remaining nominees will still be rewarded for their accomplishments with $500. So, the winner for the female St. Joe Sports Inc. Scholar Athlete of the Year is Ella Moody. Dave, you're in charge of picking up the big one. Okay, and the winner for the male St. Joe Sports Inc. Scholar Athlete of the Year is Tayton Piper Gerdes. And so we got a big trophy going back to Benton too. If Mark, you could come and grab that. Thank you all for your attendance. This is another great year. We appreciate all the support from the St. Joe School District, from the city, from our corporate sponsors, from our members. You guys are all fantastic. We hope to keep the tradition strong, keep pushing through for another 30 years. Again, I'm very, very honored to be the new president of this foundation and hope to carry forward the tradition. So I appreciate all your support and hope you all have a good night.